The chair lays down floor amendment number 18 by Senator Garcia. The secretary will read the amendment.
Floor amendment number 18 by Garcia.
Chair recognizes Senator Garcia to explain floor amendment 18.
Mr. President, members, this is the amendment that I inadvertently laid up as number 13. So I stand by the comments that I made to lay out the amendment, and just remind you, in case we want to be reminded, that this simply would add the CHIP prenatal program to cover 2 postpartum visits for the mother, and only if those visits were in 60 days, change that to extend it to postpartum care up to 6 months. So it would just be an extension from 60 days to 6 months.
Chair recognizes Senator Hager on floor amendment 18.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Members, thank you, Senator Garcia. I believe that this amendment, like a few of the others, would have a rather large fiscal note, and it's an appropriation by changing the program, and I think we need to do that in the budget rather than in this bill. And so with that, I would ask that we table floor amendment number 18.
The chair recognizes Senator Garcia to close.
Mr. President and members, again, this is a very simple amendment that would extend the postpartum visits for the mother in the CHIP perinatal program from 2 visits, which must occur within 60 days of delivery, to extending the postpartum care to 6 months. Again, we need to make sure that the babies are born healthy and that the mothers are able to adjust to the pregnancy, and to make sure that the mothers have a good experience so that if faced with a pregnancy again, they will not have to resort to an abortion because of the bad experience or difficulties with their postpartum care. So again, if this is really about women's health care, and if this is really about doing something about unplanned pregnancies, I urge you to adopt amendment number 18.
Thank you, Senator. The chair recognizes Senator Hager on floor amendment 18.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yeah, I thought that I had made a motion to table.
You already had.
Excuse me. All right. I stand corrected. It's late. The members, the issue before us is the motion to table by Senator Hager against Senator Garcia's floor amendment 18. So this is posed by Senator Garcia. The secretary will call the roll.
Birdwell, Campbell, Corona, Davis, Duell, Duncan, Ellis, Eltype, Estes, Frazier, Garcia, Hancock, Hager, Hinojosa, Huffman, Lucio, Nelson, Nichols, Patrick, Paxton, Rodriguez, Schwartner, Sulliger, Taylor, Uresti, Vanderpute, Watson, West, Whitmire, Williams, and Zaffarini.
Members, there being 18 ayes and 12 nays, the motion to table is sustained. Thank you, Senator Garcia. The chair lays out floor amendment number 19 by Senator Ellis. The secretary will read the amendment.
Floor amendment number 19 by Ellis.
Chair recognizes Senator Ellis to explain floor amendment 19.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, it's a very straightforward amendment, only 9 simple lines. Members, approximately 30% of Texas women and 16% of Texas children lack health insurance. 25% of Texas children live in poverty. In Houston, in my district, 28% of the children live in poverty. This amendment came up the last go-around. I heard Chairwoman Nelson make a comment a second ago about the amount of money that we put into women's health care in the last budget. Members, this is a fiscally conservative amendment. This amendment will give you the chance to draw down $4 billion. $4 billion for an investment of $50.4 million in general revenue. If you were to stretch this out over a 10-year cycle for a mere investment of $15 billion on the part of the state of Texas, we would draw down $100 billion in federal money. A couple of our colleagues were making a comment to me a second ago that they think maybe Obamacare is going to go away. Maybe that deferral of having companies have to take in insurance may make us look back and wonder, why didn't we take this money anyway? So this is your opportunity. This bill, I'm told, is all about quality of care for women. At least that's what my distinguished colleague was kind enough to point out in his opening statement in the last special session and again in this special session. So this is very straightforward. It's a gut-up amendment. It gives you an opportunity to do what you say this bill is intended to do. Senator Hager, it won't impact your bill because you and I know this is going to be tied up in the courts at least until we come back into the next regular session. I make no bones about it. I'm against your bill. I don't have to get up and give that speech. A number of my colleagues, particularly my desk mate, will express it very eloquently for me. She won't have to do it 11 hours this go around. I'm against your bill. I make no bones about that. I don't think that expanding health care options in Texas, drawing down the Obamacare money through this amendment will hurt your bill because this bill is going nowhere anytime soon, even when the governor gets an opportunity to sign it. So I hope that you will accept the amendment. I was kind enough, as I mentioned to you, Senator Hager, to pull down my other amendment related to sex education because Senator Watson had two amendments that were close enough to the subject matter. So this is the only amendment I have. Don't vote politics, just vote your conscience, and I move adoption of this amendment.
Thank you, Senator. We appreciate that. The chair recognizes Senator Hager.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Ellis. Again, this with the expansion of Medicaid, I don't think that's this bill, and I really don't believe it's germane. I appreciate your words, but with all due respect, I'd ask that we table this amendment.
The chair recognizes Senator Ellis to close.
Mr. President, I can't understand why if you all appreciate me so much, you won't vote with me.
We appreciate
where's the love? This is the kind of love I can do without.
Lots of love.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think I can predict what the vote would be. I do appreciate Senator Lucio sticking with me this go around. If you really care about health care and access to health care, if that's what this bill is about, how could you turn down that much federal money? Almost a third of our budget is federal money. Senator Schwartner, you made the comment the first time we had a discussion on a similar amendment during the regular session. What's it like to be in business? Would you be in business with a partner who's going bankrupt? A third of the budget that we brag about, that most of us voted for, was federal money. The only time we are saying we want to turn down federal money is when it's federal money to give 1.5 million poor women, primarily, and children in Texas access to health care. Instead, we're going to slap that tab on your counties and my two counties, because when people show up and need access to health care in our state, our doctors still take a Hippocratic oath to give people access to it. So we're paying for it in emergency rooms. So I hope you'll vote against the motion to table. Thank you.
Members, the issue before us is the motion to table by Senator Hager, opposed by Senator Ellis. The Secretary will call the roll.
Birdwell, Campbell, Corona, Davis, Duell, Duncan, Ellis, Eltife, Estes, Frazier, Garcia, Hancock, Hager, Hinojosa, Huffman, Lucio, Nelson, Nichols, Patrick, Paxton, Rodriguez, Schwartner, Sulliger, Taylor, Uresti, Vandepute, Watson, West, Whitmire, Williams, and Zaffarini.
Members, there being 18 ayes and 12 nays, the motion to table is sustained.
Thanks for the help, members.
The chair lays down floor amendment number 20 by Senator Davis. The Secretary will read the amendment.
Floor amendment number 20 by Davis.
Chair recognizes Senator Davis on floor amendment 20.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, you saw this amendment in the form of a bill earlier in the regular called 83rd session, and we passed this bill out of the Texas House and Senate in a bipartisan vote. The governor vetoed the bill, and it's a bill that assures that women are provided equal pay for equal work. And you might ask, well, how is that germane to the bill talking about abortion laws? It's germane, of course, because if we're going to pass a bill that undoubtedly will result in increased Medicaid births and other births in the state of Texas, we should, of course, also be held accountable to making sure that families have the ability to earn the income they need to feed their children. If Texas women are going to be denied family planning choices, it's imperative that Texas women be given equal pay to support their families. And with that, I would ask for adoption of floor amendment number 20.
The chair recognizes Senator Hager on floor amendment 20.
Thank you. Senator Davis, you may recall that I actually voted for your legislation.
I do. Thank you so much, Senator Hager.
That was vetoed, and I supported that legislation, but I do not think that it is germane to this bill, and that's the reason I'd ask to table.
Chair recognizes Senator Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Hager. 42 other states have adopted equal pay for equal work provisions. It makes sense that women who are trying to support a family have the ability to earn equal pay for the work that they do in the state of Texas, just as they are assured of doing elsewhere. And I would respectfully ask that you vote no on the motion to table floor amendment number 20.
Thank you, Senator Davis. Members, the issue before us is the motion to table by Senator Hager posed by Senator Davis. The Secretary will call the roll.
Birdwell, Campbell, Corona, Davis, Duell, Duncan, Ellis, L-Type, Estes, Frazier, Garcia, Hancock, Hager, Hinojosa, Huffman, Lucio, Nelson, Nichols, Patrick, Paxton, Rodriguez, Schwertner, Seliger, Taylor, Uresti,
Yeah, right. Finish the roll call.
Vandepute, Watson, West, Whitmire, Williams, and Zaffarini.
There being 18 ayes and 12 nays, the motion to table is sustained.